morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Welcome to my non-spoiler review for the HBO miniseries The Penguin, based off of DC Comics' Batman villain The Penguin. Before we jump into that review, though, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss out on a video. And if you do enjoy our content, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up. So let's jump straight into it. The Batman was one of our first ever movie reviews. I think it was the first movie review that our channel ever did. Thoroughly enjoyed the film, thought it was fantastic. But one of the biggest praises I had for that film was the Colin Farrell portrayal of Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin. Absolutely blew me away with his performance in that film. It was one of the biggest highlights of that film. So when HBO said that they were going to be doing a miniseries based on that character and they were going to bring back Colin Farrell, straight away I was 100% in. And you know what? They did not disappoint me one little bit. I mean, look, let's face it, HBO has done many fantastic series over the years. Band of Brothers, Game of Thrones, you know, like they very rarely do HBO miss with their properties. They invest a lot of time and effort into their properties, and they're absolutely fantastic. So as soon as I heard rumors that they were doing this, I was 100% in like sin, and trailers came out. They absolutely blew me away, so I knew I had to do a review of this for you guys, because the final episode dropped just a couple of days ago, and I mean, if you guys have been watching along, you know, fantastic. You've got your thoughts and opinions. I just thought I'd give my opinions on this. So straight away, let's just get straight into the casting, okay? Obviously, you had Colin Farrell coming back to play Oz. 4 hours of makeup and prosthetics to get into that character. And you know what? I mean, I still struggle to comprehend that at times that's Colin Farrell under all of that. Unless, I mean, I'm sure there are people, if you went to somebody who never watched the Batman, never watched the Penguin, had no idea about any of it, and you showed them a photo of the character and said, that's Colin Farrell, I guarantee you they wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't be able to pick it. It's only when they get really close up, especially around the eyes, where you can kind of see a little bit of it. So I think they did an absolute fantastic job with that. But he's just one character out of this whole thing. Obviously, he's the main character and absolutely flawless throughout this film, and I'll come back to that in a moment. But you got other wonderful actors and actresses. You got Cristin, Milioti. I'm probably butchering her name. She was absolutely brilliant, though. You got Rhenzy, Feliz, who plays Oswald's kind of number two. He was absolutely fantastic. I actually thoroughly enjoyed seeing him on screen. You had massive names like clancybrown, Mark Strong. You had Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy. Just absolutely brilliant actors and actresses. You had Michael Kelly coming in. We had James Madeo from Band of Brothers, funnily enough. It's just, every episode there'll be a face pop up that you're just kind of like, hey, that's so-and-so or whatever. So, they really did a fantastic job purely in casting for this series. And again, all of this ties into the Matt Reeves Batman saga, which I believe I've just heard rumors that they've got another 2 movies coming out over the next couple of years. So, you're probably going to see some of these characters pop up in those future movies as well, which is really, really good. So they had to make it epic because it all ties in. So that's really, really good. So there's a little tidbit for you if you didn't know already. They announced just recently they got another 2 Matt Reeves Batman films, and I believe they also announced that they got 2 other series that they're going to make. But they haven't announced any details on those films or those series, but they've announced that this is their plan. We'll just have to wait and see for future announcements. So basically, again, I don't like giving away spoilers if people haven't watched the show. I would thoroughly encourage anyone who, if you're listening to this and you haven't actually watched The Penguin, do yourself a favor, sit down, watch it. It's on, obviously, HBO. Here in Australia, it's on Binge and Foxtel. Basically, any way that you can get your hands on this series and sit down and watch it, I thoroughly encourage you to do it. Best way that I can describe this film is that it is an old school gangster film. It is a gangster film set in the Batman universe with the Oswald Cobblepot Penguin character at the center of it. He's a swindler. He's a dealer. He's trying to establish his role in this city, in this world, in this criminal underworld. It's very reminiscent of, and I mentioned this in my review of The Batman. All of this is set very much in the early days of Batman in Gotham. It's like very reminiscent of the graphic novels of Batman Year One. Batman has only been Batman for maybe 1 or 2 years. The Rogues Gallery is not established as we all kind of know it, with the Joker and Mr. Freeze and Two-Face and all that. Like, none of these characters really exist in their kind of most well-known phase. So this is really a story of Oswald just kind of coming up and establishing himself in this criminal underworld. And as I said, it's very much the way that it's delivered is absolutely fantastic. They call it a drama series, which absolutely, it is definitely a drama series, but I also just like to call it like, this is a gangster series. But that being said, they do a fantastic job of towing the line in the sense that they're not following a lot like what a lot of films are doing these days in trying to humanize the villain. They're not trying to they're not trying to say, oh, he's really a good guy. There are moments where you think, hey, he's not that bad. He does have some redeeming qualities about him. He's not all evil. But then he's not all good. And they do a really good job of towing that line, of showing you very human elements to him. And he's not just, he's not this comical character. Like, in the movies, the past movies and all that kind of stuff, the Penguin's very much this camp, comical kind of thing. I never really liked him. I never really liked the villain, the Penguin, until this iteration. This iteration really made him grounded and believable and non-comical. But again, they toe that line very well of showing you the human side of him, and at times make you feel very much empathetic towards him. But then at the same time, they slap you across the face and say, "What the hell are you doing? This guy is scum. He's a bad guy. He does terrible things, and he does do some very terrible things in this series. Again, I'm not going to give anything away, but he does do some very terrible things. He's got a temper at times, this, that, and the other, but it's just absolutely perfect. Perfect. I absolutely adored it. So, what else can I say about this? I mean, in true Batman style, the city of Gotham is a character in itself. They do a really good job of showing you the cityscapes, the buildings, the cinematography is brilliant. And again, because this is a direct follow-on, like literally this follows on maybe only a couple of months after the events of the Batman film. So if you haven't seen the Batman film, I mean, it's not essential. It's not essential that you watch the Batman before you watch this, but I definitely would encourage you to if you haven't seen it, because it gives you some of the backstory as to where the city is at and why the city looks the way that it does. So this movie follows literally directly on from the movie. It's only a couple of months after. The city's in quite a state of chaos, things like that, and you see that, you visually see it, you feel it. It's just absolutely brilliant. So, and there's obviously, as I said, it's the Penguin kind of coming into his being and kind of coming to where he fits in, but also there's all this other stuff going on in the city which also plays into it as well. So again, I don't like giving away spoilers, but look, hands down, casting, scripting, visuals, costumes, this, that, the other. I absolutely love this. That's it. When they announced the Batman with Robert Pattinson playing Batman, I hated the casting, and I'm still not 100% sold on it. But what they've built in this franchise, this world, I absolutely adore and love, because it's so grounded in what could be reality, and I absolutely adore it. I can't wait to see more of it. Whatever they announce, movies, casting, TV series, who the next villains are going to be, whatever they decide, I'm 100% in. They've earned my trust and my faith. Between the Batman and now the Penguin series, they've earned my trust. I'm in like sin. I'm not going to say they can do no wrong, because there's lots of things that they can do that can ruin that. But as it sits right now, I have my trust and my faith in this production team, and I can't wait to see what they do next. Hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Penguin, drama series, mini-series, whatever you want to call it. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? All the twists and turns and things like that. The epic conclusion. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. I thought they nailed the landing. I thought they did great. Hit me up in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of the Penguin series. Are you looking forward to what they do next? I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and we'll catch you at the next video. Until then, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.